So this is going to be on uh, how to trade SGBX, and this would be an excellent stock to short. Um, and this was on September 25th. I think I've rewinded it, haven't I? I believe I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Okay, so it jumped up 100, 200%, which is great. However, it wasn't gradual at all. And even if it was gradual, it didn't gap back down to its previous price or anywhere near it. It was like already, let's see, play. Let's see, where did it end off? Okay, there. So right at opening of regular session, it just starts to tank because it's too high and it wants to fill the gap. So this is the best time. So I would say this is the best time to buy the stock when you find support, and also when volume is not incredibly low, but like it's actually like kind of petering off. So I personally like to buy at, and this is if you want to go long. So I personally like to buy at a volume with kind of like uh, like over here would have been okay, and over here would have been okay. And you can see the price actually rises right here and right here. And the reason that's happening is because these these black shadings that I have over here, what they're telling me is they're telling me that um, on average, high volume will be within that shading. So on average, this is a really heavy drop or a heavy selling of the stock. So we don't want to buy while it's falling unless you're trying to short sell. We want to buy when it's starting to uptrend, and it's not going to uptrend if it has a heavy drop. So, well, yeah, it's going to be caught in a downtrend. So what I try to do is I try to like get it while it has a zero slope. So if it had a really heavy downtrend, it will start to slope off, and then the volume will be less. The volume will be less. So that's what I've highlighted here. Like here's where the volume is less, it goes up a bit, and then it stops and starts going down again, because this is just it's a crappy stock. And the reason I say that is, I mean, the trend is horrible. Another indication that this stock is just going to go down is that, yes, the rise was great at the beginning, but then for the most part, the number of times it hits the bottom band usually outweighs the number of times it hits the upper band. So here it hit 8 times, here it hit once, here it hit twice, here it hit 3 times, here it hit 3 times, here it hit once, here it hit twice. And because it only hit once here, I would have no incentive to jump in. If it had jumped up maybe 5, then I would be way more interested, or 6 or 7 or something like that. But that actually, yeah, that does look bad, I guess. You see, it went up here as well, but it didn't even have enough strength to go past the bands. So because that happened, I wouldn't be excited. I wouldn't have jumped in to try to be bullish, and the stock just falls through. So when it's falling through, this is very important as well. When it's falling through, it may have a bounce back, like because you know, it's trying to fill the gap. It may bounce up. Okay, that is what happens, and this is basically one of the best times and the only times you can find a bullish trade. It's basically like the morning panic buy, but like it's not very high at all. So we'll hit play, and it's starting to go up. So again, would I have bought in here? Let me just double check. Honestly, No, I wouldn't have. No. So, like I said before, I'm not trying to buy when the volume is really crappy. I'm trying to buy over here, 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 this kind of negative volume. So I would have waited. I would have got that. And as soon as I saw that, I would have bought in. Only because you can see right here that volume isn't too low. Volume is actually, it's now low, but it's not so low that it's really exceeding the average, like extreme lows. So this is generally a good time to buy in. If you had bought in over here at 2 point, let's say 2, like you see it hit and it's not going back down. Let's say you bought it in at 2.69 or 2.7. If you bought in at 2.7, you could have held it, and then it goes 1, 2, and 3, and then it starts to like decrease. We'll hit play. Don't tell me that was it. Was that it? Wow, I really wouldn't have jumped in the stock, but normally I like to wait for a stock to the MACD to hit the top, but for this one, oh, another thing is I want to sell when it's red. So like I've chosen this as my indicator as well. So when volume is really high for when it's positive instead of negative, then that's when you sell. It's kind of like reverse. So when volume is really high, if you're bullish, when volume is really high and it's negative, you do not buy. But when volume is really high and it's positive, you do buy. I mean, you do sell. So it's kind of a reverse. So anyways, I would have bought somewhere here under the clouds, which is awesome, and then I would have sold when it's turning bright fuchsia or whatever. You guys won't have fuchsia. You probably have some other color like green, I guess. Yeah, I would have tried to sell, even here, I would have tried to sell 3.14. So from 2.65 to 3.14 is pretty good, I guess. And then, actually, I wouldn't have tried to sell at 3.14. I would have held it for just a bit longer. Let's see. Oh, this is horrible. Yeah, that was it. 3.14 would have been the best. So 3.01 would be my selling price, I guess. And then I wouldn't have touched this thing because, like you can see, downtrend is super heavy. This is a dangerous stock to try and be bullish in. Uptrend once, hits upper band once, then it goes down again. At least one thing we can do here is say, listen, it's consolidating, it's doing a sideways trend. We can finally capture some level of support. So I would say support, there's some support at 2.23. Okay? I would consider buying in anywhere near 2.23. So let's hit play. Preferably lower. Oh wow. Okay, I missed a lot of these little mini plays. So now, okay, this is interesting. Now it starts to tap the top bands 6 times, taps the bottom band once. I would get in now. I would consider getting in now. So now I would really consider getting it. I would wait for it to go down a bit, and I would try to capture at one of these. So it's saying 1, 2, 1 and -3, and I already know that there's support here. So I wouldn't actually be afraid to buy around here. And that's a little higher, so I maybe let it drop a bit more if I can. Okay, I'm buying. Oh, whoa, stop. I would have bought here. I would have bought somewhere around here, even 2.2. Sure, let's say we bought at 2.24. I'm hitting play. Wow, this trend is so pathetic. Goddamn. Anyways. Alright, so It's squeezing. Hopefully it jumps up. I mean, hopefully there's good support here, so. And I'm pretty sure when I saw the whole thing before it jumped up, so we'll hold it. Oh, and actually one good sign of an uptrend is the distance between the price and the parabolic SAR is stop and reverse is decreasing. So that's generally a sign that it's going to pop up. So let's see. It's going to pop up. No, it's going to pop down. Great. Wow, I hate this stock. Wow. Okay. Finally it pops up. So now that we're back at the same price that we bought it at, because I think I jumped in at 2.24 or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Hit play. Oh my god. This is such a bad stock. This is a great example of a stock to avoid. Yeah, I wouldn't have tried to make money off of this if my life depended on it, because I would die. 1 and -6. Okay, so I mean, I would have tried to sell it at one of these after, but and then it hit 7 times. I wonder if we can find like an average of how many times the bands hits. Is there an average? Will I hold it? Well, at this point, because let's say it went too fast for me and I wasn't paying attention and I didn't sell at 2.23, which sucks anyways, because I would have made 0. 1 and -6%. Would I have held it, yes or no? My answer would have been no. I would have been happy to get out at 2.23 or whatever. Even like this, I don't care. I would have tried to get out. And let's see what happens afterwards. I'm not sure, but I think there's like a much bigger rise. So I might have been premature with my decision, but let's check it out. What happens? Okay. Only 2. Only 2. That's a really good sign. 2 versus 7. That means that it might pop up here. So I would actually want to buy in here. I would want to buy in here maybe, because only 2 downtrends and 7 uptrends. So that's a good weighting. So I bought. Let's say I bought here. I just saw that. So anyways, I would buy in here. Let's say. Let's give it a shitty price. So let's say 2.12. So now it's at 2.16. Hit play. It went once. It tapped up once. This is the worst. It's still at 2.12. I would abandon this. I'm not going to invest in the stock. SGBX. I'm pretty sure this went up. Let's see. Did it go up? No, it didn't go up. It's just been squeezing. Finally, it goes up. Oh my god. Went up to 2.39. That's nothing though. Like honestly, what? 20 cents off of a like 2.12? That's 9%. You can make 9% anywhere else. Go to another Wow, this was a really, this got like punished like the entire day. So yeah, I wouldn't have jumped in the stock, to be honest. Like, this isn't a great trend. It's really hard to be bullish and make money on this kind of trend. Yeah, I think that concludes my video on this. Like, I can press play, but what time is it over here? It says it's 3:26. And what, does this even have aftermarket? Let's see where it goes in aftermarket. Probably shoots up, no? Not even. Not even. Wow. I'm so glad. So glad my decision to like avoid this. This is a great stock to short if you're a short seller. But yeah, no way. I'm not trying to go bullish on this. That was way too hard. Basically, this would have made you stick in the trade for a long time until you get your uptrend. And yeah, even then, like, if you'd shorted over here, then it's profitable. Otherwise, no way. Okay, that's it for SGBX. That's all I have to say about that. This is kind of like, if you're a bullish trader, this is kind of stock that I would suggest avoiding because it's just too much consolidation, very little uptrends, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say.